Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 5 of Content Overload. Hopefully, all of you are doing well, whether it's daytime, nighttime, or I don't know, whatever time you're watching or where you're watching. You could be in bed. My favorite, you could just be watching us while you're taking a shit, because it's where you watch YouTube. Because YouTube's number one place is in the can. But hopefully all of you are doing well. My name is Raven. I am your host. Many of you just call me Nick, Raven, whatever. I am also joined by my co-host down below me right here.
Hey guys,
you can see right there.
My name is Will137. My gamer tag. People call me Will. People call me Willie. Nice to be here. Oh man, I'm so happy. So happy that we're still going.
Heck
man,
yeah.
It's so great.
Hell yeah. And this episode, I have been super excited to get into it because I have been working diligently on trying to do something really cool because it's March. And if you haven't already noticed already, I am a huge sports fan. I love football, baseball, basketball, pretty much any sport. And if you are a sports fanatic, such as myself, you most likely know that March is basically the month of college basketball, or March Madness. And one of the big things that you might know about March Madness basketball is the bracket, the infamous bracket. And I figured, you know what? Great burp. That was
Sorry,
great.
It came out of nowhere. I didn't think that Mountain Dew was still coming out.
Yeah, you guys missed it right before we hit record on this episode. He just ripped one. It felt like Buddy the Elf.
Dude, it was nice.
Yeah, it was insane. It was pretty good. But
warm
I figured, you know what, in spirit of March Madness happening soon, as of the date of recording this episode, I figured, you know what, we're gonna do our own bracket. We're gonna have our very own March Madness bracket. Thus, we are having our very first annual Content Overload Bracket Madness, and it's going to be great. We are going to be talking about video games this year. I've been already thinking ahead, like what we're going to do next year for our Bracket Madness, maybe go into movies, television, and whatnot. But for our very first annual Bracket Madness, we are going to be determining the best video game of all time. And mainly because I just want to talk about video games, because I love video games. I play them all the time. Will, you play them all the time. We talk about them all the time.
Do keep in mind, guys, that this bracket was built up from you guys and your ideas and the games you guys wanted to nominate for part of it, and then the other part was Game of the Year games.
Mm-hmm.
Do know that this will be completely based off of our interpretations of the games and however much time and experience we have in those games. So it's not going to be 100% akin to what you guys want to hear. Just letting you guys know.
100%, and I couldn't have said it better myself. I have reached out to obviously many of you. In the last episode, I told you to put your favorite video games of all time in the comments below. I have taken a look at some of them, and then I've also reached out to some close personal friends of mine, including some people in my Twitch chat, some of their favorite video games. I've taken all of those into account, and I have also read like over 15 articles of, the top 25, top 50, top 100 video games of all time. So I've kind of pulled from that list as well. And the one thing that I've heard the most is that, oh, you can't do this because it's all subjective. You can't, that's not my favorite video game of all time. I get it. It's an opinion based thing. So of course it's going to be subjective. So the best way that I thought I could kind of ease the drama of our favorite video games on this list here is I have picked a total of 40 video games. 20 video games are going to be included on the list of the Game Awards. 20 Game of the Year winners, essentially, over the last 20 some odd years. And then on the other side of the bracket, we have 20 video games that you guys have enjoyed, and it's basically the best video games of all time amongst the gaming community. So I figured I'm going to throw both of them together, and it's going to be cool. They're going to duke it out, and we're going to see who's going to be the best video game of all time. So I'm also going to leave this bracket that we're using. You can see it right Nope. Here, right here, it's all reversed for me. So you can see it right here for me. I'm gonna leave the link to this bracket in the description below if you want to go check it out yourself. If you want to add some of your favorites as well, or if you want to use it for I don't know, God knows what. If you want to use it, just you can use it. It's gonna be there. I'm gonna leave a link so you do not have to worry about that. But the number one thing that I will say is that when we finish or throughout the episode, please leave your comments in the chat and timestamp it because I want to like if you don't agree with something or if you agree with something, I want to see your guys' opinions on it. So leave your opinion and timestamp it so that I can go back and then I can watch it and kind of see and have some fun, engaging discourse in our comment section. So that is all I ask. And then also, please be kind and respectful to everyone in the comments when they do offer their opinion, because I do want this to be a fun, safe space for all of you to kind of have fun and have a good time. We talk about video games because this is probably one of the only places on the internet right now, at least, that you can join and not be criticized for your opinion. So yeah, with that being said, Will, are you ready to start our first annual Bracket Madness?
Oh man, I am so ready to
Oh, yeah.
disappoint so many people.
Same
Of
here.
course I am.
Same
That's
here.
my job.
Well, let's get into it, Will. Our first matchup is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and Resident Evil 4 2005. This is a big one.
You know, I'm actually really excited about that matchup because they're both pretty big for me.
Okay.
San Andreas was the very first Grand Theft Auto. It wasn't the first one I played. I played Vice City, but I didn't go very far in it. But San Andreas is the very first one that I put my heart out into, and I beat that one.
Okay.
Or I'd finished the whole storyline of it. It was the first one, so it has a big impact on me for the Grand Theft Auto series. And then Resident Evil 4, I love Resident Evil. And
As do
Resident
I.
Evil 4 is arguably one of the better games, not my favorite one, but it's definitely one of the better ones of the franchise.
Yeah, I saw in a comment today, actually, a YouTuber was saying that Resident Evil 4 is the favorite son of Capcom because it is the one that has been remade and re-released constantly. So I mean, RE405 is easily the one of the top for Capcom, at least.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say my top is actually Resident Evil 2, but
ooh,
yeah, that's my favorite one.
It didn't
I was
make
so
the
happy
list.
when they remade it. God, I was so happy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I have dabbled in both. I have not completed both. Resident Evil 405, I actually played about half of it on stream before RE4 Remake came out, and I have yet to come back to it to complete it. So I played half of the game. I did not grow up with RE4 Remake, so or RE4, so I don't really have that much experience, but I do understand why people love it. Now, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, that was actually my very first Grand Theft Auto that I ever played. I still have yet to beat it. And the only reason why I say Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is a fun one for me, and it always has a special place in my heart, because it's actually the very first rated M game that I ever got to play. It was an experience for me. Yeah, it was an experience. I was over at my uncle's house when he was babysitting me, and I was like, "What's this game?" And he was like, "Oh, it's a game where you can drive cars." And then next thing you know, I was like yanking people out of cars and just stealing it as like, I think I played it when I was like maybe 6 or whatever. It was an experience, to say the least. But yeah, I think they're both equally great games. I guess how we'll do it is, I mean, we'll just say which one I think is the best, and then you can say yours. So, Will, would you like to pick your winner on this one?
Oh, I thought you said you were gonna say yours first.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll do it, and then you go. Oh, sorry,
I'm fine with saying it, but yeah, it'll buff. It's all right.
Oh God. All right. So, I think, in my opinion, between the two, they're both great games. But in my opinion, I have to go with Honestly, I'd have to go with Resident Evil 4. I just, yeah,
Really? I was
yeah,
not expecting that.
yeah. I personally just feel that Resident Evil 4, it's because I have seen gameplay of San Andreas. Like I've seen the whole story online. So I do know what's going on in that game. And I just feel that RE4 just it offers so much more narrative wise than Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I get that GTA is an open world sandbox and you can do whatever you want, but like many of you know, I'm a sucker for narrative, and RE4 has a great narrative, and so that's my pick.
All right, well, we might be running into trouble for the first part of this bracket, boys and girls,
Let's
cuz
go.
um honestly, I really like Resident Evil 4, but Grand Theft Auto San Andreas opened me up to a lot more stuff, and it also opened me up to cheats and and like
That's true. It
in the
did have a bunch
game.
of cheat
God,
codes. You're right.
I'm pretty sure they had a thing where if you put in so many cheat codes, a specific mission where you had to catch, I think Lamar off of jumping off of somebody from jumping off of a gas station. I don't remember who it was.
Hmm,
You couldn't beat it if you put in so many cheat codes
interesting.
before that point.
Did
Even
not
if
know
you
that.
like used a cheat code to slow down time, even like you'd still hit the ground before you get to him.
That's really interesting.
And yeah, and so honestly, I'm gonna have to go with
GTA San
San
Andreas.
Andreas. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, and if you're wondering how you guys are gonna do a tiebreaker, um, I think one of the biggest things for me is if I can be persuaded to think the other way and agree with someone, then I will be like, okay, I understand that. So honestly, I think our winner for this one is GTA San Andreas because I didn't know, I forgot about all the cheat codes, and how just like massive that game can be, and there's a lot more that you can do with San Andreas as opposed to RE4. So I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think our winner is gonna be San Andreas. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
Um,
So
for the
Grand Theft
future though,
Auto
I
San
will say,
Andreas.
for the future, I will say I am totally fine with us going if we have to come down to us having separate opinions. I'm totally fine with going with your opinion since you are the host of this and
Oh, I appreciate that.
yeah. And
But
you
no,
did
I mean
make all this. You
genuinely,
did all
like,
the work. You did great work. It's awesome. And
thanks,
you
man.
did amazing, man. So I'm totally fine with a
Thank you.
tiebreaker leading to your.
I mean, yeah, no, I mean, genuinely though, I forgot about the cheats and all that stuff that you can do and how crazy the games can be in San Andreas or in any GTA with them. And another
Yeah.
thing that viewers, I want you to understand is for me, I also determine games on the longevity of them. How well did this game influence the rest of their franchise? And between RE4 and San Andreas, I think San Andreas definitely it stands above
Yeah.
time. It
My only
definitely set
thing
the
is,
tone.
yeah, my only thing is, I really wish that they would have put the lock wanted level cheat codes in GTA 5
Mm,
because, God, dude, it was my most abused cheat code whenever I played San Andreas was the lock wanted level. Every single time I logged in, I put that cheat code in first, man. It was, oh, I love it so much. Being able to run over everything and take out everything, and you don't even have to worry about the cops. So cool.
nice. Well, moving on to our next round, it is going to be the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion versus the very first Tetris.
This is a really
Which
weird matchup.
this is, yeah, it is
Very
very
different.
peculiar. Oblivion was a game of the year winner. And I have the list here. Oblivion.
It was like 2003, wasn't it?
Yes,
Or not three.
2006. 2006 was
2006.
Oblivion game of the
A
year.
little old.
Yeah, so interesting. I personally played like maybe 2 hours of it, not a whole lot of it, so I don't have a lot of experience, but I do know that a lot of people have enjoyed it. I've even seen a playthrough of it, and a lot of people have enjoyed it. Um, But on the other end of like on the other side with Tetris, like Tetris is Tetris, dude. Like it had so much influence in the 80s. Coming from PC to basically exploding onto the on the scene in the video game industry with the Game Boy. And I mean, going through time, Tetris has survived a lot longer than I would say Oblivion has. Um, so I mean, both are great games, but man, I love Tetris. I love me some Tetris. So if I had to pick, for me, this one's easily Tetris. So Will, what do you think?
Honestly, I didn't really play Oblivion, so I don't have a big opinion of it. I played the fuck out of Tetris. I
Yeah.
played it on my phone for
Yep.
all the competitive things. I was a pretty high rank at a certain point. Don't know if I should be ashamed of that or not. I
Don't be
love
ashamed.
competing. I
Badge of
love
honor.
competing in Tetris. It's so much fun. It's such a good game.
It's a great
And
game.
I could literally sit there for hours flipping blocks, dude. I mean, I'm just saying it. I definitely will have to go with Tetris for that too.
Tetris it is. Oblivion is out. Tetris moves on. We'll see Tetris again
People
facing
are
off
gonna be
against San
so sad
Andreas.
about that. If you
No,
guys
I don't think so. I think Tetris is a very well loved game.
just
But
depends if they played it or not.
true. Our next matchup being another Grand Theft Auto game, Grand Theft Auto 4, moving over to Liberty City, taking on Super Mario 64. Will, why don't you lead us off on this one?
I lied. 4 was the first one I played.
Well,
But
San Andreas is still a great game, though. I've still played it.
well, yeah, but um, actually no, it might have been Vice City and then 4. It was somewhere around there. Sorry,
No, you're good.
but but so I actually have a, so my relationship with Super Mario is a little weird.
Okay.
But yeah, I might have accidentally gotten rid of my family's Super Nintendo entertainment system. Uh that's a story for another day.
Yeah, definitely a story for another
But
time.
Super Mario 64 was the only thing we played on that mainly. And then every time I went to a friend's house, they had it and we played it. Uh GTA 4 was pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely have to go for Super Mario
Super
World,
Mario
Super
64.
Mario 64. Yeah,
Right on. All right, so for me, I played Grand Theft Auto 4, and I have not played Super Mario 64. I've only seen gameplay of it and speed runs of it. My experience with Grand Theft Auto 4 is kind of weird. When I played it on the 360, I only played the DLC of the game. The copy that I got for like I think it was like Christmas or my birthday or whatever. The copy that I got, it literally only included the Lost and Damned DLC and the Ballad of Gay Tony. It didn't have the main game in it. And it was so bizarre because I wanted to play the main game, but I never could because I didn't have that copy in it. So I only played the two DLCs, but I thought the DLCs were fantastic and I loved it. And like I said, I've never played Super Mario 64, but I have seen gameplay of it, and it looks phenomenal. It looks like such a fun game to the point where I would want to play it. But I think for me, this one really comes down to which one had a like significant influence on the gaming community. And I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one, Will. I think our winner here is Super Mario 64. Like this one easily takes the cake between GTA 4 and Super Mario. So Super Mario 60 or Super Mario 64 is moving on. Such as us, and this one is going to be a big one for me. We have Red Dead Redemption from Rockstar Games going up against Half-Life 2. Um so I guess I'll start it since I'm familiar with both games. Red Dead Redemption. I just finished up my Red Dead Redemption series, so this is all fresh in my mind. Loved the hell out of Red Dead Redemption. Between two and this one, Red Dead One was it very much had like an arcade feel to it. It was very more way more fast paced. The action was more simplistic, but it was also just really fun. The dialogue wasn't as amazing as Red Dead 2, but it still was fun to play. And to the point where I would want to go back to it in like 10 years again and play through it again. But on the other end, have Half-Life 2. I've yet to complete the 2 additional episodes that follow Half-Life 2. Um, but I have played the entirety of Half-Life 2 and I enjoyed the hell out of it. I think the story is so unique and so interesting, and I love the fact that it leaves you off with so much mystery. And I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. But if you haven't played Half-Life 2, go and play it. It's phenomenal. To the point where I want a sequel. I think everyone in the world wants a sequel to Half-Life 2. But for me, I think between the two, I love them both, but this one's still a no-brainer for me. It's Half-Life 2. Easily for me. So Will, what do you think?
All right. Um, well, this one's probably gonna have to be judged by you because you're the one with experience from both of them.
Okay.
Really, I never played Red Dead Redemption. I played Red Dead 2,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't play the first one. And Half-Life Alex, I don't know if I played the second one or the first one, but I played like 5 minutes of one of them.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like an interesting game. It's just not anything I got into because really it was like I got a cracked version of it on my school computer or something.
Okay.
Uh, and then uh, got in trouble for having it on my computer.
Ooh,
So
get busted.
yeah, and then they blocked everything. It's whatever. But yeah, so I don't really have an opinion. I can't really say for this, so we'll have to go with Half-Life 2 since that's what you decided on your
Fair enough. I
winner
mean,
there.
and again, I think both video games are great, but like I think just Half-Life has such an impact on the gaming community to the point where everyone wants a third one. And I personally don't think we're ever going to get it, but it's just so culturally significant as opposed to Red Dead. I think if it was Red Dead 2, it'd be a different story. But we're going up against Red Dead Redemption for now. So our winner here is Half-Life 2. Let's moving on. Now we have the one that I'm going to have a hard time with. Telltale's The Walking Dead, one game of the year, versus Minecraft. Will, take it away.
I remember The Walking Dead. I
Mm-hmm.
do. That was a fun game. It was
Great.
great story. Minecraft. My choice is
In
Minecraft.
and
I
just yes, Minecraft, 100%.
I I liked The Walking Dead a lot, and I didn't watch all of the series, like the actual movie or show series.
Show.
I didn't watch all of it like in line, but I watched a lot of it in general because I had family members and friends that all watched it, and I happened to like be in the room every time they were watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But Minecraft,
It's
I
Minecraft.
literally have bought like more than 8 times my entire life.
Like a lot of people have.
Yeah, I've bought it multiple times for my mobile because I kept forgetting my Google account,
Oh boy.
and uh luckily that hasn't happened in years, and I still have PE on my current Google account, and then I bought it like twice for Java because some Chinese person hacked into my first one and stole it from me.
They stole your
Uh,
Minecraft. How dare they?
yeah,
Stole
so
all
I
your
had to buy it
diamonds.
again. And I have it now. And then I bought Bedrock twice because something really weird happened with Microsoft with that. And then I have Xbox 360 edition, and then I have Xbox One edition. I don't know if they're laundering for my money, but they got it. And
They have a lot of people's money.
and I do not regret a single bit of it. I love Minecraft, and it's always a game that every 6 months I will go back and play for 1 or 2 weeks straight, no matter what. Uh, it's it's just always been a classic for me, and it's always been there for me whenever I had nothing else in my life, nothing else to do or entertain myself with. So it's gonna be an easy Minecraft for me on that one.
Good pick. For me, The Walking Dead, the Telltales of Walking Dead holds a special place in my heart. I have played through this game, I'm not even kidding, 6 times. All of them. And it never gets old to me. It's still the characters are so compelling to me. The narrative, it's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful game, and it opened my eyes to like the genre of like pick your own path type of video games. Because of Telltale's The Walking Dead, it's made me love those kinds of video games. But Minecraft has been around for so long and has been platformed on so many things, dude, that it has to be Minecraft for me. It has to be. It's a game that is still to this day makes millions of dollars every single year. And they continue to update it to make it new. They somehow add things, excluding mods. That's a different side of Minecraft. But if we're talking like Bedrock, they still add things to make it fun. They make it engaging to make people want to come back and, like you said, go on that 6 week or 6 month like bender of just playing. Like wait 6 months, bam, you're back in Minecraft and you're up until like 4 a.m. every day playing it.
Yeah.
So for me, I think it's Minecraft as well. I think Minecraft is by far superior over Telltale's Walking Dead, sadly. So Minecraft wins and moves on.
I'm so sorry for Capcom.
Capcom's getting shit on right now. You're going up against one of the big dogs right now. We got Street Fighter 2 versus Baldur's Gate 3. Many of you know Baldur's Gate 3. I don't need to tell you. It just won. It just won Game of the Year. So I'll start this one off. I have not played Street Fighter 2. My very first Street Fighter was Street Fighter 5. No, 5. Yes. Street Fighter 5 was the very first one that I played. And the only reason why I played it was because I went in 2017. I went to WonderCon Los Angeles, and Capcom was there promoting that game. And I got a t-shirt from them, and I was like, I'm going to buy your game because you gave me a t-shirt. And so I played it, and I thought it was awesome. And Street Fighter, I love Street Fighter 6. I think that game is lit as shit. So I mean, Street Fighter 2 is cool because it kind of like made it more popularized the fighting genre. But I mean, Baldur's Gate 3, like I still have yet to play the entire game. I've only played the early access bits. But my pick is it's Baldur's Gate. Nothing beats Baldur's Gate for me. I'm sorry. So my pick is Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. It's a tough choice. So tough. No, it's not. I
Will is now portraying the bad cop.
I'm really sorry. So Street Fighter, I didn't get introduced into Street Fighter till Street Fighter 4. So I didn't play Street Fighter 2, obviously. But I mean, obviously they've got Ken, Ryu, Chun-Li. They've got very good, well-known characters.
Iconic characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, and I'm really sorry to people that like.
The number one quote for this episode is, "I'm sorry, but."
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really sorry to the people that are gonna be really offended by this. But Street Fighter 2, I mean, very iconic. it on the top of people's lists for a reason. But like it's really old, so I bet it sucked to play. No, I'm just kidding. It's an
No, the eye
arcade
roll.
game. They're the same. They've been the same since
Yeah.
Street Fighter 1 probably. Um I like Street Fighter, but personally it's not my favorite um game like that.
Yeah.
I actually like Soul Calibur a
Ooh.
lot more. Um Even though Street Fighter is iconic and a great arcade game, Soul Calibur isn't arcade, I'm pretty sure, but it's a similar it's a fighting game. I'm
Mhm.
I'm so sorry if I just insulted you guys. It might not be that similar, but it's fighting, and that's my correlation between the two. So I'm sorry if you guys are like those are two completely different genres or something. Um,
But it's
I'm
our
just not
opinion.
cultured.
It's our
I'm not
opinion.
cultured, guys. Yeah. Baldur's Gate 3 um racked up very many hours on my Steam profile very fast. And it's still in my top, I think, 3 top number 3 games on what I've played the longest on Steam alone. And it's for a reason. It's for a good reason. Baldur's Gate 3 is so much fun, and I love the aspect of Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons is so cool. Um, uh, just with that simply, there's a lot more to it, but I don't want to hold us for too long on that thing because I could probably talk about it for a few hours. Um, so I'm just gonna have to say Baldur's Gate 3 is my choice for that matter.
Oh yeah, we can mutually agree. Baldur's Gate 3 is moving on to the next round. Once we get through the first round, I think it's going to go a lot quicker because we've already
Probably
talked
not.
about them. But
Well, yeah, but maybe
our next
I don't know.
matchup is The Last of Us Part 1 versus Bloodborne. We got our first Souls game in there. So I guess I'll go first because I think Will, you're going to have to be the determining vote here.
Yeah.
Because I've never played a Souls game. I played Bloodborne a little bit, but I got stuck on trying to cross the bridge with all those dogs. There's a part like right at the beginning of the game, you have to cross a bridge with all these dogs, and they kill me every time, and I can't get across the bridge. So I put it down. But I love The Last of Us Part 1. Um, I think the story is amazing. Everyone knows The Last of Us. It's one of the most popular games right now. And I mean, we're now getting a television show about it. We're working on season 2 now. The game is great. I love it. My personal pick would probably be The Last of Us Part 1 because I've never really played Bloodborne, but I understand why Bloodborne is so well loved for people that love Souls games. So my personal pick is The Last of Us, but I think I'm gonna give it to Will to determine which one's the best because Will, I mean, you play Souls games.
This is gonna be a little interesting.
Okay, let's see.
I do play Souls games. I love Souls games. But I don't own a PlayStation. Um,
Here it is. Sony, what are you doing? Put Bloodborne on PC, you
yeah,
fuckers.
PlayStation 2 was the only PlayStation I had, and I utilized most, if not all, of my time of PlayStation 2 on Star Wars Battlefront 2. So, uh, and I don't think that I know The Last of Us was not on PS2. I'm sure,
No, that was a
I'm not
PS3
sure
title.
actually. Yeah, it was a PS3 and PS4 title. So
It
I know it wasn't
it
on PS2.
remastered or not remastered. They ported it. Oh no, it actually was a remaster. I'm sorry. They remastered it for PS4. But it
Yeah,
originally released on the PS3.
yeah. Bloodborne, it is a Souls-like game, but I actually did not really get much into Souls-like games until I started playing on PC. Uh, and I don't know much about Bloodborne.
Ooh.
I know it's a big game, but it's a PlayStation game. and I don't like Sony. I'm sorry.
Okay, are
But
we gonna get our first upset
uh,
here?
I like the old PlayStations. I do not care about the new PlayStations. I'm a Microsoft Xbox PC man myself. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
this is
Um,
guys, this is interesting here. I think we're gonna
yeah,
have our first
but
upset.
and that's okay.
No,
Everybody's
it's
entitled
fine.
to their own opinions. Yeah. Uh, just I like mine better. Um,
Mine's right.
yeah, mine's right. Though I will say PlayStation does have really good their things for PlayStation Plus, their options for on their PlayStation Network, their games monthly and stuff. Really nice before Xbox started picking up their pace on it, and their original games are also very nice. But I don't have a PlayStation. I don't know anything really about Bloodborne. Sadly, no, not sadly. I don't know anything about Bloodborne. And The Last of Us I love. I did not play it, but I did watch a lot of it multiple times. I didn't watch all of the first one actually. Um, but um, I did watch most of it, the original, more than I did the remaster, and I will have to go with The Last of Us on that as well.
Oh, here come the comments. This is I'm gonna
Right.
timestamp it. 36 minutes.
Don't be disappointed in me,
Our
our
winner,
Souls-like fans.
our winner for this round, upset, in my opinion, The Last of Us Part One.
It's a
All
great story
right,
game. I love story games too.
now finishing off the first half of the bracket. We're going to be wrapping it up with God of War 2018 going up against The Legends of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
This
Um,
is gonna be wild.
I'll go first again because like I played both of them. I haven't completed Ocarina of Time, but I played almost to the end of it. I just stopped playing it. Um, God of War was great. It was a fun game, but not a great game. I liked it, but I at the time I didn't really like that it won Game of the Year. Because I didn't think it was that good.
Mm.
So for me, it's Ocarina of Time.
All right, all right. Yeah, all right, all right.
Bias, obviously, but no, Ocarina of
Um,
Time is just a good game. It's a good game, probably one of the best Zeldas that has ever come out. So, Ocarina of
yeah.
Time for me.
Um, again, this is probably gonna screw a lot of you guys over. God of War.
You've
I
already done it
don't own a
once.
PlayStation.
You're
I
gonna
do
stab him
not.
again.
Yeah, I don't own a PlayStation. And if I have to say it again, I don't plan to. No, I'm just kidding. I might eventually if they keep taking so
Porting them.
fucking long to port games into
Yeah,
PC. I really want Ghost of Tsushima already,
it's
but
coming out.
they're working on 2 before they fucking put it on PC is what it feels like.
No, Ghost of Tsushima is
Um,
coming out on PC this year.
yeah, I know, but they're already working on 2 now. It feels like they've been waiting on purpose. Now I'm gonna have to wait for 2 before it gets on PC port probably.
Yeah, probably,
Um,
most likely.
God of War, I didn't watch the original God of War. I had somebody that I had played a little bit of God of War 2 with and watched him play all of that, and I've watched some of 3, but never the original. And Ocarina of Time, actually, I never played. You guys are gonna hate me for this.
Oh man,
I've never played Zelda. The first one that I own actually is Breath of the Wild.
that's a good
Eventually,
introduction for people.
yeah, I own it because I Tears of the Kingdom is amazing, and I wanted to play Breath of the Wild before I played Tears of the Kingdom, so I own it. I haven't played a minute of it.
Same,
Um,
same, same here.
yeah. Ocarina of Time though is like amazing from what I hear, and I love their music. So the fact that it's not PlayStation and they have really good music, I'm really sorry. But I'm gonna have to
Sony fanboys
say
right now screaming right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Ocarina of Time. I think
Ocarina
by
of
the end of
Time
this
it is.
podcast, a lot of people are gonna
Moving
be
on.
happy with me, and a lot of people are gonna hate me too. But that's
This way.
okay.
All right. So it looks like how bracket fights works. We have to complete one side before we move on here. So I guess we can kind of, I mean, we've talked about them already. So we can kind of expedite the process a little bit here. We can just kind of briefly share like our thoughts and then we can, we'll move on to the other side before we have the championship game. So for me, between Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and Tetris, both well iconic games for me. But I think if I had to pick, it's Tetris still for me. It has to be Tetris. It's just that good, man, and it has withstood it has withstood time. It's still a great game. So it's
Yeah.
Tetris for me.
All right. So San Andreas. That was also one of my PlayStation 2 games, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Um, San Andreas opened up a lot for me,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and started getting me to spread out in genres and games and stuff a little bit. As weird as it is, that it was San Andreas. Um, but I'm gonna have to go with Tetris on this.
You have to go with Tetris.
Yeah, I'm
All
gonna
right.
have to go with Tetris on this.
Tetris is moving on. Has beat Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Thank you for your service. Tetris moves on. This one's gonna be tough.
All right, so I'll
Yeah,
take this
take it.
one first. So I haven't played Half-Life, guys. I don't know what you expect from me. Uh,
There.
um, I'm sure it's a great game. I just haven't gotten around to it, and it's old now. Don't know if I will. I'm not sure yet. Super Mario 64. I just um, I said it was on the SNES. That's Super
Someone.
Mario World. It's on the it's on the Nintendo
Yeah.
64. Um, hence Mario 64. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to mix it up, guys. But
You are getting flamed right now in the comments right now.
yeah, dude. They're if they don't make it to this part where I point out that I said it, they're gonna hear the first part of me saying it, talking about the Super Nintendo Entertainment System because I was thinking about when I accidentally got rid of it. Um, so they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, it's not even on there. It's only on the Nintendo 64." I know.
They're gonna be like, "Oh my god, now I have to go back and delete my comment." Oh,
Yeah. um, I also really liked Super Mario World though. But anyway, yeah. Super Mario 64 is gonna have to take the cake for me,
okay.
for sure.
All right. So how do you want to determine? Do you want me to decide?
Yeah, it's fine going off of
All
you.
right. So I think Super Mario 64 is a great game. I've never played it, but I've seen a lot of gameplay of it. I have played Half-Life 2, and I'm trying not to use my bias on games that I have played, but for me personally, it has to go with games that have like had the most significance within the gaming community. And most people, in my opinion, at least when I bring up Mario, the first game that comes to mind for them is it's not Super Mario 64. It's not. But a
It's
lot
alright.
of people I know have played Half-Life and they love it, especially Half-Life 2. So for me, I'm gonna have to pick Half-Life 2 for this one.
That's
I'm
okay.
I'm gonna have to.
I I don't even think that Super Mario 64 wasn't their first game. It was a good game because it was an increase from their first Super Mario Bros.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's not their best. I mean,
Yeah.
you have Odyssey is a great one. You have Galaxy is a great one. There's a lot of good ones. It's just for me, it's not Mario 64. But our next matchup is Minecraft versus Baldur's Gate 3. Boom.
Oh, I hate this. I hate this, dude.
Okay,
This is like
I guess I'll go
for
first.
either.
I'll go first. And I won't go into too much detail because I do want to get to the other side. For time's sake for our podcast. I'm gonna have to go with Minecraft on this one, which is crazy. I understand that Baldur's Gate 3 is a great game, and it is perfect in every way, but Minecraft is more culturally significant. You can do a lot more, and I feel like after a while, Baldur's Gate 3 can get boring. Minecraft for me, it just doesn't get boring. I always come back to it. I don't. I feel like when I do play Baldur's Gate 3 and I beat it, I won't come back for it for a long time, but I'll always come back to Minecraft. So for me, it's Minecraft.
Yeah. I'm actually stuck at the very end of Act 3 because I'm afraid to finish Baldur's Gate 3 because I don't want to let go of it, and once I finish it, I probably will. But this is a very upsetting matchup for me because I absolutely love Baldur's Gate 3 so much, and it's so different with the genre and the type of game and how well it did, and uh it was the first game in a long time that had came out of its release fully functional, and there's just been a lot of heart and soul and love from the developers for this game, and it's an amazing game, but kind of like you said, uh Minecraft has been around for a long time. It's it's what really got a lot of people into gaming and into role playing, even because of servers that they have, and they are very versatile and have so many things so many things offered in them. And all of our favorite original YouTubers played Minecraft, and I still remember watching so many of them in the past, listening to Flight by Tristram and as all the uh openers for all the YouTube videos. So I'm gonna have to say Minecraft for mine as well.
Minecraft it is. All right. The Last of Us versus Legends of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Will, you go first, man.
Okay, well, as I said, I haven't played Zelda really, and I very much love their music for Ocarina of Time. And this is gonna really suck for you guys to hear this from me because I don't know anything about it, and I'm very oblivious for that fact. Um, so I apologize, but I'm gonna have to say The Last of Us.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So for my pick, The Last of Us is a great game. I played it multiple times, and it will always hold a special place in my heart. I love Zelda. I love all of the games, whether I played them or just watched them. I love them. But the thing is, Ocarina of Time is not the best. There is another Zelda game that's the best. So I'm going to have to agree with you on this one, Will. The
Whoa,
Last of Us
what?
Part 1 moves on.
Hey, I need some of the heat off of me. What's the best Legend of Zelda game, huh?
Maybe it's on the other side of the bracket. We'll get
What
there.
could that be? Oh, I see. I see.
We'll
I see.
get
All
there.
right.
We'll get there.
All right.
You probably already
Okay.
have. Breath of the Wild's the best. Breath of the Wild. I enjoyed the hell out of that one.
Tetris.
All right. Oh, Tetris. All right. Tetris versus Half-Life 2. So you're going with Tetris?
Yeah, Tetris.
All right. Fair enough. I think, in my opinion, I'm going to have to go with Tetris too.
Sorry, guys. Not sorry. Tetris wins.
Tetris. It's just that iconic for me. All right.
Wow.
Minecraft versus The Last of Us, Part 1.
I love the story. I love story games so much, and I love the story of The Last of Us. and it was really like I connected to it a lot, got into it a lot. But Minecraft, man, Minecraft is big, man. I just poured my heart out about it with Baldur's Gate 3 in Minecraft, so I'm gonna say Minecraft.
And for my pick, they're both great games, man. But like we've mentioned before, Minecraft, it just continues to be better over time. So for me, my pick is also Minecraft.
It's crazy that it came down to these two oldies,
I
man.
know. Like I was kind of surprised that it came down to this as well. I mean, both great games. We had a lot of great games on the first half of the bracket. But for our I'll use NFL terms, our NFC and on the NFC side, for our championship, before going to the main championship matchup, we got Tetris versus Minecraft. So Will, what do you got? Tetris.
So Tetris was an Nintendo Entertainment System game,
Mm-hmm.
a very old game before
Oh, before
PCs
even
even came
Nintendo.
out.
It was on PC before
Oh,
Nintendo. Before it was on
was
Game
it?
Boy. Yeah, it was on PC. It's a Tetris was originally made in Russia or the Soviet Union.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought it was originally released on the
No,
Nintendo
it
Entertainment
originally
System.
released as a floppy disk, if I'm not mistaken. It was passed around as a floppy disk in the Soviet Union, and a video game entrepreneur he uh he decided, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna try to bring Tetris over to the United States, and he did so. Um, and I mean, now we have Tetris, you know, as it is today. It's just exploded into this multi-billion-dollar game since the 80s. So I don't know. For me, for my pick, um, I'm gonna. Man, this one's tough for me. This one's genuinely tough because I love both games, but I personally believe that my pick, it has to be Minecraft.
Yeah.
It
Sorry,
has to be
my
Minecraft.
mother came in.
You're good, man.
In the middle
It's
of the
gonna have to be
podcast.
Minecraft for
I knew
me.
it
So what do you
would
got?
fucking happen. Um. Well, Tetris is awesome. I love the competitiveness of it. I like the music. I enjoy how easy and simple it is. Um, but uh it is just that simple. There's not much to do with it. So, with how versatile and how much there is to Minecraft, I'm gonna have to also say Minecraft.
Minecraft moves on to the championship game. And with that, we now move on to the second half of the bracket. And we're starting off with Resident Evil 5 and Left 4 Dead 2. I'll start it off. I don't really have to go too much into detail with it. They're both zombie games. They're both really well loved. Both co-op games too. But I just think Left 4 Dead 2 is goated. It's goated. It's so good. So my pick is Left 4 Dead 2.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So I like Left 4 Dead. It's fun. I enjoy zombie games. They scare the shit out of me. You know, they're both well, Resident Evil isn't necessarily zombies. It's a little different, but
Yeah. For the most part.
they're the same thing for the most part. And they're monsters. Um,
Infected.
yeah. Um, but I was not as much into the Left 4 Dead franchise nearly as much as I was into Resident Evil.
Okay.
While 5 is also not my favorite, I will have to say for me, it's definitely 5 over Left 4 Dead 2.
All right. And you know what? Since what you said, you want the host to be the determining pick if we tie, I'm gonna have to agree with you on Resident Evil 5. Mainly because I thought about this while you were talking. Um, the sequel that they made for Left 4 Dead was Back for Blood, and that game was ass. Um, they have made more games since Resident Evil 5. So I just think Resident Evil 5 is gonna move on for this one over Left
Yeah,
4 Dead
it's
2.
crazy to think how old Resident Evil 5 is
Yeah.
too.
So moving on, we got BioShock and Super Metroid.
Ah.
So what do you got?
Okay, so people are probably gonna hate me for this
Oh,
because BioShock is a great game. Um, that I did not play. Uh,
never played it either.
wow. Okay, cool.
I've never played Super Metroid either. So don't know nothing about these games.
Um, I didn't play a whole lot of Super Metroid, but I had a friend that had a lot of older games that I used to hang out with whenever I was like 10. And I would always go over to his house and we would always play random games. And Super Metroid was one of them. And it was stupid. Um no, it was actually pretty fun. I really enjoyed my time playing Super Metroid. And Samus is so hot. Um so yeah, I'm gonna have to go
My
with
pick
Super
is Super
Metroid.
Metroid.
Yeah.
Is it actually?
Yeah, my pick is
All
Super
right.
Metroid, yeah.
Like I said, I haven't played Bioshock either. I've actually played like maybe an hour of it. Um, and I haven't played Super Metroid. I actually haven't played any Metroid game, but my pick is going to be Super Metroid. Mainly because it kick-started the genre, Metroidvanias, dude. It started it. Um, so I'm gonna have to go with Super Metroid. That one moves on.
Yeah. I actually had to look up what BioShock was released on just to make sure it wasn't on PlayStation so I could make that statement again. But it was actually
PlayStation's
released on
ass.
yeah, it was actually released on Windows and Xbox 360 originally in 2007.
Nice.
And then the next year they ported it to PS3.
Nice. So moving on, we got Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, and Mass Effect 2. I'll share my bit first. I'm actually gonna give the pick to you though. You're gonna make the determining factor. I'm kind of gonna step away
Yikes.
from this, mainly because I have never played Sekiro. I know nothing about it. It's a Souls game. I don't like Souls games. And you can call me a bitch all you want, a skill issue, Andy, who can't handle hard games. Yeah, you're right. I can't. I'm terrible at them. It is a skill issue, and it's something that I can sit there for 5 hours and never figure out any patterns. So you can call me stupid if you want to. But I have played Mass Effect 2. I loved Mass Effect. Loved them. Loved all of them. I played them last year for the very first time,
Oh really?
and oh dude, I cried at the end. It was so good. It was so good. But I understand why Sekiro is a great game, and it even won Game of the Year. So for me, I would say my pick is Mass Effect 2. But I'm gonna step away from this one because this one's 100% a huge bias for me. So Will, who's gonna move on here?
All right. This is going to be weird. I bet a lot of people like Mass Effect 2. I liked Mass Effect 2.
It's a great one. It's the best one.
Um, it is the best Mass Effect. Um,
I mean, Andromeda is really good. That one's up there. Oof.
I enjoyed playing that on 360 whenever I was like a baby, you know. Cuz that came out in like
This is
2009
Oh yeah, like
or
2009.
10.
Yeah.
I think yeah. Um Sekiro though. I really enjoy I like Mass Effect, but it wasn't a huge franchise or game for me. And I love the Souls-like genre a lot. And Sekiro pissed me off a lot. Um but I really loved the concept of Sekiro. I did not feel like I got stronger every time I died. Um, like I thought I was promised, and when it came out. But I will actually, for myself, have to say Sekiro,
All right.
even though a lot of oldies are probably gonna hate me for that.
Yeah, I think Sekiro is well loved here. I think between these two, this one probably wins. So Sekiro moves on. Now we got Skyrim, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim versus Halo Combat Evolved. Is this one a toughie for you?
It's not tough. It's just frustrating.
Yeah. This one I had a hard time. So I will say with, some context to the viewers at home watching, I will say this one was probably the fuck. This one was the hardest one for me to pick in terms of what
Really?
Halo I wanted to put in because there's a lot of great Halos out there. On the list that I saw, the top two were Halo 3 and Halo Combat Evolved. And the only reason why I put Combat Evolved on here over Halo 3 is mainly because this was the first. It started Halo. So this one has the most cultural significance because that was a huge factor in my, choice to pick these picks. So for me, I have played Combat Evolved and I have played Skyrim multiple times. But like I said, for time's sake, I am gonna, Skyrim's a great game. Loved it, played it multiple times through multiple different platforms. But Halo Combat Evolved started, man. Like Halo is such a great game. And it spawned one of the greatest television shows that have ever released. On Paramount Plus. They definitely upped the game on that one by letting Master Chief take off his helmet multiple times. Yeah, dude, it's the best show ever. The best show ever. But
I'm
Halo
so
Combat
glad I looked
Evolved.
up and saw
Halo
you
Combat
being
Evolved is
sarcastic
my
about that.
pick. I am being sarcastic. If you're
Yeah,
flaming me in
'cause
the comments, you're dumb.
because as soon as I heard that they let him take off his mask, I forgot about the whole series. I immediately you said the best TV show series or whatever. I was like, dude, Red versus Blue is amazing.
Was
I love
amazing.
Red
Rooster Teeth
versus
is
Blue.
dead. R.I.P.
But that's like for a different Halo.
Yeah.
A better Halo.
But
Halo
my pick is Combat Evolved. So, Will, what do you got?
Halo Reach is my favorite.
Good one.
Yeah. And I know that's not of the list
Mhm.
there. Halo Combat Evolved is cool, but and it did start it all, but it's not Halo Reach, and I enjoy that it got to there. And I feel like Halo kind of flopped a lot on a lot of their games and could have done better with a lot of them instead of making certain them all the way they did for certain ones.
Okay.
But if it was Halo Reach, I would say that. But personally, between Combat Evolved and Skyrim, I had a much more hearty experience with Skyrim and was more connected to Skyrim. It was my first introduction to the Elder Scrolls franchise, and it was very fun and silly. And I think I'm gonna have to go with Skyrim on
Ooh.
that.
So this one's gonna come
Yeah.
down to me. All right.
Yeah.
I love them both, man. I really do. Halo Combat Evolved was not my favorite. I personally like Halo Reach a lot more, as well. But that was my introduction to Halo. So, there's that. But man, I'm still gonna have to stick with my gut here on Halo Combat Evolved because it spawned Halo. Like Halo is still like, yeah, their games are ass now, but then they were great, and it spawned a lot of great books along with it. It's just a lot of great things that spawned with Halo. So I'm gonna have to go with Halo. Oh,
It's a
okay.
respectable choice.
Moving on to the final
Oh,
Grand Theft Auto in the list here, but we got Grand Theft Auto 5 and Dark Souls. So, Will, you start it.
all right. So Dark Souls is amazing. I love Souls like, Dark Souls and Souls like sounds pretty similar to me. Pretty familiar. Uh for something that made the whole genre.
Yep.
But GTA 5 when that first came out, I didn't play it cuz I didn't have a way of playing it. But whenever I did finally get to play it, I played the hell out of GTA 5. I played a lot of it. I enjoyed it. I played all of the story. I played it online every now and then, but it's not anything, it didn't stick with me. It's not something that really stuck with me. And honestly, it does have very many amazing features, and it's definitely a lot more online driven than San Andreas was.
Yeah.
But I kind of like San Andreas better than GTA 5. And that's for my own personal reasons. Because of that, I really love Dark Souls. If this was Dark Souls 2, I would have totally said GTA 5.
Everyone would have said
But
GTA 5. I'm not a
but
psycho. I'm not going to put
yeah, but
DS2
I
on there.
really liked Dark Souls, so I'm going to have to say Dark Souls
All right.
on this one for me.
For me, this one is actually kind of tough. I have played a little bit of Dark Souls. I defeated two bosses in that one. Never beat it though. For me, Dark Souls is actually playable. Like I was actually able to play it a little bit. And Grand Theft Auto 5 is it's Grand Theft Auto 5. Like I loved the hell out of it. However, I prefer the campaign over the multiplayer. I hate the multiplayer of Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't know why everyone loves it as much as they do. I get that there's custom maps and all that good stuff. And all of the heists and everything, but it got to the point where hackers just kind of took it over and it's not even really a fun game to play. So GTA 5 for me, the only fun aspect of it is the campaign. That's it. I mean, it's really like if you, the reason why GTA 5 is so popular now is because of the multiplayer. And it is almost impossible for a new player to jump in now and play GTA 5. It's impossible.
I
Um
enjoyed the campaign too.
yeah,
Also.
the campaign in GTA 5 is great. So for me my pick is going to be Dark Souls. It was a genre defining game.
Yeah, and
So
GTA
Dark
5
Souls.
does have RPG and role playing and stuff on their online
Yeah, but that's a modded
stuff. And
server. I don't really count
yeah.
that. That's a whole different
Mm,
thing. They're just using the
yeah.
assets. So
Listen here. So, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt versus Super Mario Smash Bros.
this one's an easy pick
Ultimate.
for me.
Uh, yeah. So
Oh,
Witcher 3, not shitting on that game. I did buy it. Just
okay.
like Breath of the Wild, just like Zelda. Have not played a minute of it. I have it. I thought about to. I thought about it. I was about to. And
Uh,
then you know what? I didn't. Um Super Smash Bros Ultimate. I shit on so many people. Um I love that game so much. And Zero Suit Samus is hot. So,
right.
no, there's a lot of other hot people in there. And
Hell
and
yeah.
Kirby's
Like
one of my
Mario.
favorite. I loved Kirby. Um, he was my favorite because I got to steal everybody's abilities. So fun. I'm gonna easily have to go with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate
And for
on
me, my
this one.
pick is Smash Bros. I'm the one that gets shit on. I am terrible at the game, but it's Smash Bros, man. Like it is so fucking good. Even dying all the time and losing, it's still fun to play. Like I always want to come back to it. So for me, my choice is Smash Brothers Ultimate. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate beats out Witcher 3. All right, two more before we start, bringing out the winner of this side of the bracket. But right now we have The Legends of Zelda: Breath of the Wild and the OG Doom. For me, my choice is pretty self-explanatory. It's Breath of the Wild for me. Will, what do you got?
All right. This is gonna be an interesting thing for me because obviously I haven't played Zelda. I've watched some Zelda. I also haven't played Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Not the original Doom, but I have played Doom and I enjoy Doom. And Doom kind of bolstered a lot with its game style and brought in a lot of other games
That are
and
similar to the genre.
ideas. Yeah. Um and I really enjoyed playing Doom. So I'm going to have to go with Doom on this one cuz I know a lot of people very much love the original and
Mhm.
it's got a great community kind of sometimes. Some of them are pretty toxic, but most of the community is great and tied to Doom a lot and I see why. It's a good
Yeah,
game.
it's fun. I played that one too. Oh, it's a good one.
I'm gonna have to go with Doom personally.
Well, we are in the tiebreaker. And this one's actually hard because Doom is it's a defining game for the genre. Breath of the Wild is just a phenomenal game all around. Um, I don't know, man. It might just be my bias, and I'm gonna get flamed in the comments for this. But my pick, moving on, will be The Legends of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. It's just vastly different to Doom, and I feel like there's more to do in Breath of the Wild than there is in Doom. So my pick is Breath of the
Understood.
Wild. All right. With the last one in the first round of this side of the bracket, we have Uncharted 2 Among Thieves and Elden Ring. I played both of them. I haven't beat Elden Ring. I have beaten Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. It's actually, in my opinion, one of the hardest Uncharted games to play. The final boss in that game is atrocious. Even on like the easiest difficulty, it's still hard as fuck. But I think my pick for this one, honestly, it has to be Elden Ring. The story is so good. Like, even though I've never played it, I've seen gameplay of it and the story breakdowns of it. So for me, it's Elden Ring.
Um,
And yes, Uncharted 2 is a Sony game.
yeah,
You're like, there it is,
I
Elden
didn't
Ring.
play Uncharted. Sorry, guys. I played Just Cause. I don't know if that's at all like it.
No.
I actually, yeah, I'm really sorry to people if they picked Uncharted 2, because I don't know anything about it. Um, Elden Ring though, I beat multiple times. Um, I actually just started a brand new run. My first run, in fact, on PC. Uh, like this week, actually, on Monday, I started, and I'm very excited for the DLC to come out. And it was a really nice step from Dark Souls because of how uh Dark Souls, all of the Dark Souls except for 2, all Dark Souls 1 and 3 kind of aimed at where you needed to go, and I really enjoyed the open world aspect of Elden Ring. While it did give you a guide on where you wanted to go, it still let you, if you were capable of surviving, you could go wherever the hell you wanted to go, whenever you wanted to. Uh, and I love Souls-like games. I'm gonna have to definitely say Elden Ring
All
for
right.
this one.
Elden Ring moves on. All right. Now we are like we're an hour and 14 minutes in, so we are starting to get more cut down for time. So
All right.
now that we've kind of talked a lot about these games, I'm gonna briefly talk about them. Not a whole lot, but I'll briefly talk about it. and then issue my pick. So for our first one we got here is Resident Evil 5 and Super Metroid. I'm gonna have to pick Super Metroid on this one, mainly because it spawned the Metroidvania genre, and it's Super Metroid. So that's my pick for this one.
All right. Well, so even though I didn't have a very big introduction to Super Metroid, Resident Evil 5 is not my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And as you included, Super Metroid did introduce a lot to the gaming community.
Mm-hmm.
And other personal reasons, I'm going to pick Super Metroid
Super
as
Metroid
well.
moves
Yeah.
on. Now we have
Not just
Sekiro,
because Sam
Shadows
is
Die
hot.
Twice, and Halo Combat Evolved. Will, what's your pick?
Um, this really sucks. I
It's
really
not
like.
Reach.
This is a little hard. This is a little hard. Um, fuck. Actually, this is a lot harder for me than I thought it'd be. I'm gonna go for Halo.
Ooh. Okay, why?
Yeah. Because Halo Combat Evolved was not my favorite, but I still enjoyed it. And Sekiro, I do love Souls-like games, but it does not mean that they're on top of everything. I do like the Halo franchise better than I like Sekiro. So I will include Combat Evolved over that as well. So I'm going to pick Halo CE over Sekiro for this
All
one.
right. I mean, for me, like I haven't really seen much of Sekiro. But I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna have to agree with you. Halo Combat Evolved, mainly because it started the whole Halo franchise. Um,
I loved Sekiro, but not that
yeah.
much.
So Halo Combat Evolved moves on. And now we have another Souls game. We got Dark Souls versus Super Smash Bros. I'm looking at the bracket now. I'm like, oh my god, dude, this is like all these big powerhouses are going to be going up against each other.
Yeah.
This side of
So,
the bracket's insane.
yeah, actually for me, this one's very easy.
Okay.
I love Dark Souls and I love the franchise, and Dark Souls was the first one, I love it. Great game, enjoyed it 100%. Super Smash Bros Ultimate is going to be my choice though, because Super Smash Bros Ultimate was something that I connected to with a lot of people, and I really enjoyed the mashup of so many different games into it. And I also just love the platformer fighting style that they
Mhm.
had. So and I shared a lot of memories with that game. So I'm gonna have to go with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
And I'm gonna have to go with Super Smash Brothers Ultimate as well. I think it's one of the best fighting games out there. It's one of the best. So Super Smash Bros. Ultimate moves on, and now we have Legends of Zelda: Breath of the Wild versus Elden Ring. I guess I'll share my pick first. So I haven't played Elden Ring to its entirety, but I have played Breath of the Wild. But you know what? I love both. I love them both. Even though I never beat Elden Ring, I love them both equally, in my opinion. But if I had to pick one, I'm gonna pick Elden Ring on this one, which is
Cool.
kind of surprising. I know I loved Breath of the Wild, but the one thing that really just stands out more to me between both of them is that the Elden Ring story is actually way more complex than Breath of the Wild, in my
It
opinion.
it, it
Like,
is nice because they're both open world but
yeah,
different types of games.
they're
So
both open world games, but if I'm being honest with you, I feel that the it goes deeper in Elden Ring than it does in Breath of the Wild. Like narrative wise, Breath of the Wild is very surface level. um, so I'm gonna go with Elden Ring.
yeah. Breath of the Wild is a great game. I of course have not played it, but heard, listened, read, play or not watched, not played, watched a little bit of it. And it's a great game, but Elden Ring, I do also have to agree, wonderful narrative and very, very fun Souls-like game. I'm gonna have to definitely say Elden Ring on that one.
And Elden Ring moves on. Now we go up to the top. We got Super Metroid versus Halo Combat Evolved. Will,
Hmm.
what's your pick?
That's an interesting one, but since I have much more experience with Halo and their whole franchise, and between these two games specifically, I have more experience with Halo CE than I do Super Metroid. Even though Samus is hot, I will have to go with Halo.
All right. So I guess my pick will be a determining no matter what here. So I haven't played Super Metroid. I have played Halo Combat Evolved. But I think honestly, my pick really comes down to which one has influenced the gaming community more. And in my opinion, I feel the winner for this matchup is Super Metroid. Because there are a ton of Metroidvanias now. And this one really, really just started it all. So for me, Super Metroid moves on.
Understandable, understandable.
Now we have Super Smash Bros.
Oh,
Ultimate versus Elden
oh
Ring.
my
This one is going to
god.
be a tough one, man.
Holy fuck. Um, it's tough, but I can answer this one a lot faster uh than Dark Souls versus Smash Bros. Because it's the same franchise. I got to think about it a little bit. Elden Ring is amazing and brought way more to the table than they ever have with Dark Souls, and I love what they did with it. But again, Super Smash, all of Super Smash in general included, brought me a lot more in my life, and I got to experience a lot more with that game. Way more it's the most fun competitive game I got to play. Every time I played it with people, it was everyone gathered around. It was way more about the fun than the competition. Every single time a game went through, it nobody threw a controller. We always enjoyed our time, had
Mm.
fun, laughed, smiled, and that was a really big thing for me. I love playing it. So I'm gonna actually have to go with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on this one.
All right. And my pick really, what it comes down to is, again, it's influence on the gaming community. And I'm excited to say that I can now finally really get grilled in the comments. My pick is Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. That is my pick as well. Because I mean, it's Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. I feel that there's more replayability in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate than it is Elden Ring, and Smash Bros. Ultimate is easier to pick up for anybody than Elden Ring.
Not
Yeah.
if you're trying to be good at the game.
Well, I mean, yeah, but if you're a casual person like myself, it's much easier to pick up Smash Bros. Ultimate than Elden Ring. So I have to agree with you. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate moves on. So now, the matchup we've been waiting for. Who's going to move on to face Minecraft in the championship round? We got Super Metroid versus Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Will, what do you got?
All right, so as you have been saying, Super Metroid has been a big part of gaming and like where it is today. Um, but as I have stated, since this whole thing is for me personally, this whole thing is about my personal opinion on what I feel, and I have much more attachment to Super Smash Bros. And much more enjoyability out of what I've experienced from that, even though I haven't had much time with Super Metroid. So my opinion and my decision is gonna have to be Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on that too.
All right, interesting pick. Man, this one's actually a tough one for me because both games are equally great. And like I mentioned before, Super Metroid has spawned the Metroidvania genre, and there has been way more Metroidvanias than a lot of other games out there. Um, I don't know, man. This is just really tough for me because again, I'm not good at Smash Bros. I'm not good at it. It's just a game that I struggle with. Um, but I understand why people enjoy it, and I enjoy watching. people play it because it's a really really great game to backseat. It's really great. Not backseat in a negative way. Not in a negative way. When I mean backseat, I mean just to sit there and watch.
Yeah.
It's a great game to just watch. Even like pros play, it's great to watch. So I don't know, man. It's just really tough for me. But my pick, and we'll move on to the final matchup for all the marbles. It will be Minecraft versus Super.
Oh fuck! They both start with super.
Super. Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yeah, as soon as you started making the M with your mouth, I knew he was gonna say Smash Bros. I saw you pucker them lips. I was like, Smash Bros.
Smash.
Mm.
All right, everyone. It all comes down to this. The final matchup for our first annual Content Overload Bracket Madness comes down to Minecraft versus Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. For all the marbles, we are going to determine which game is the greatest video game of all time. So, we've talked about Minecraft. We've talked about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Will.
No. You
Please
go first.
shit. No, you go first.
No.
You go first because I get to decide the winner here. Because remember, I'm the tiebreaker.
Dude. Oh fuck! I was hoping we'd get a tiebreaker and just end it like that.
It's
like,
it's
hey,
a hard
guys,
one for me, dude.
Sorry,
It's
both
hard.
games win. Both games win. You can't. No. Well, it's harder for me because I've been playing Super Smash since I've been playing Smash since on the Wii.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been playing both Minecraft and Smash since I was a wee little one, and they both mean so much to me. Oh man, dude, this sucks. Honestly, honestly,
Let's hear it.
I feel like Minecraft is a no-brainer.
Is that your pick? Is that your pick?
But I'm gonna have to pick Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. All right.
Yeah, that's my biggest. I've got the most. When I can think back to, I played it in college with people. I played it, all my best friends, all my most fond memories with people. Those are my most fond memories were with people, and it was always Super Smash Bros. Mainly. So
Fair.
I'm gonna have to stick with that.
Fair. All right. Now for me. So you pick Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Minecraft has a lot of big memories for me. You know, playing with my friends in middle school. Minecraft was my very first PC game that I've ever played. And it just holds a special place in my heart as well. It's so fun to play that I always come back to it at some point. And I start a new world and I play it until I just get bored of it and I come back to it in another 6 months. Smash Bros. Ultimate, I don't have that big of an emotional attachment to it because I'm not good at the game and I rarely play with anybody, but I do love watching people play. I love watching tournaments, whether it be IRL or through Twitch or YouTube, whatever. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a great, great video game with a lot of memorable moments. Like I think the closest thing that I can remember with Smash Bros. Ultimate is actually one of our guests previously, Ouija. Ouija had a tournament years ago. I don't know if he still does it, but years ago he did a tournament where it was a computer tournament where he would put two characters and they would fight each other and they would move on in like this kind of a bracket scenario. And it was really fun to watch. And he commentated over it and everything. And it was just really entertaining. So Smash Bros is a great game, and I love it, and I will continue to still watch it as long as people produce content. But my pick would have to be Minecraft ultimately, because I just feel that Minecraft really just it's it's going to last forever. In my opinion, I think it's going to be one of those games that lasts forever. So we've come down to a tie. Will has picked Super Smash Bros. Ultimates. I have picked Minecraft. So it's going to have to come down to the tie-breaking decision. So I'm going to leave it up to you, Chad. We'll find out in 2 I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No.
Imagine I did that. Everyone in the comments like, fuck this guy. I'm not.
Yeah, that's
subbing,
why I
fuck
was
this
like,
guy.
man, it'd be amazing if we just left it at a tie.
Yep.
And
Open-ended.
like, sorry,
no
guys,
one knows.
there is no winner.
You'll find out in 2 weeks for episode 6 of Content Overload. No. Really, it comes down to, you have to think about what is going to be the greatest video game of all time. If you had to show an alien species, like, what is the one video game that like defines humanity? Okay,
I would love to see them fight each other.
it's Super Smash Brothers. You have to think about what game influenced us, what game had so much cultural significance and allowed people to spark creativity and will withstand the test of time. And man, I don't. This one's a really hard choice for me to pick.
I think that with that thought process, Minecraft is a wonderful choice for it, because Minecraft, not only is it an old iconic game that's grown throughout the years, and a lot of genres have gone into the game, but a lot of genres have come out of the game. It's made a whole difference and made a whole thing for open world survival craft games, and there's still people and companies trying to make
Trying to
better
emulate
versions
that,
of
yeah.
survival, to this day. And I think Minecraft definitely had, between the two, had the biggest impact on where games are today and where games probably still will be into the future. And it's probably going to keep growing with the more growth we get out of games in the future as well.
Yeah, very well said. And I mean, it all comes down to this, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And if you're sticking around this far, you're finally going to be able to see what we've determined the greatest video game of all time, at least with us here at Content Overload. But with that being said, our winner for the first annual Content Overload Bracket Madness, and deemed the Content Overload greatest video game of all time, is it's Minecraft. It has to be Minecraft. What a very anticlimactic thing. There we go. Look at that. Minecraft is our winner.
Yeah, 360 edition specifically, where whenever you run for 2 seconds, your hunger will continue to go down and you'll have to eat within 5 minutes, and if not, you'll probably die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to know what all of your guys' thoughts are in the comments. If you don't agree with us, that's okay. Please share your thoughts in the comments. Which games do you think we got wrong? Which games do you think deserve to be the winner? Because there's a ton of great games. All of these games are great. They're all great in their own way. So I'm very curious to know what your guys' comments are on it. So please leave your opinion in the comments below. And please be respectful to others in chat. Because again, this is all subjective. It's all your opinion. And, your opinion is not the number one opinion, because it's all opinion based. But yeah, we have our winner. Minecraft, which is actually kind of surprising. I was not expecting Minecraft to win it all.
And guys, I want to also add, when it comes down to it, if you have the time, I would love to hear from you guys. If you guys could also list what would you think would be your hardest decision to make between all of these choices
Yeah.
for your finals matchup. What would be the hardest? What would you choose, and why would you choose it? If you have the time to say that,
Yeah.
I'd love to hear it from you guys.
Or hell, even better, I'm gonna link this bracket in the description below. Go through these picks yourself. Take a screenshot of your final bracket, and then share it on Instagram, share it on Twitter, and at me. And I'll take a look at them, and I'll even share them on my story, and retweet them and stuff. Just do it. I'm curious. So
feel free to at me too, guys. Feel free.
Yeah, all of our stuff is linked below. You can follow me on Twitch. You can follow all my socials there. I only have Will's Twitter or X. So you can go and follow him on Twitter if you guys want to as well. But I am going to close out our bracket here. Since we're done, we're gonna be wrapping up our episode, man. Episode 5. That's crazy. We've finished 5 full episodes of content overload. It's been crazy. It's been awesome.
Feels like
I've enjoyed every
way
minute
more
of it.
episodes than that.
Yeah, it feels like it. Every 2 weeks, it's crazy. So yeah, I guess I will say before we go, thank you so much for watching. It was fantastic. I loved doing this bracket. I thought I want to do it again and more often. Maybe we'll do something. Maybe we'll do something interesting. We'll spice it up every now and then. But yeah, Will, any final comments before we wrap up our episode here?
Man, there's a lot to gaming, guys. I had no clue it was gonna take us this long to cover one topic for this episode.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And it was a lot of fun. I know you guys are gonna have your opinions about things, and I hope you guys are open-minded enough to understand where we're coming from for the decisions that we made. And might not be the decisions you guys wanted to make, but hey, now somebody has made this decision, and we can take the fault for that. Everybody can roast us.
Yeah, we can be the heroes and fall on the sword for this one.
Yeah.
We are all of your heroes. Honestly.
Yeah. And I hope you guys can praise us for that. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. Subscribe to our Patreon.
Yeah, I do hope to see all of you guys. I hope you guys interact a little bit with this episode. If not, that's perfectly fine. I hope you listen, and I hope you watch. I do ask Raven about our watch time on these episodes, so I will know if you guys are watching these or not. But if you have made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it a lot. We love, especially Raven. I really enjoy being here and being a part of this and getting to be included in all this. But Raven, he puts in so much work for this, guys. He puts so much effort. Honestly, sometimes I feel like he doesn't even want to put the effort into it, and he does. Like, he's like, I'm tired of it all. Are you ready for next episode? Because I am. And it's so much fun. He does a great job researching for all of this, and it's crazy. I'd have no idea what the first topic would be for anything ever. So if you guys could thank Raven for the amount of work and effort he does put into this, because he does a wonderful job with it. Other than that, I hope to see you guys 2 weeks from now in the next episode.
For episode 6.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Will. That was very kind. I do all of this for you. I would not be doing this podcast if it wasn't for the beautiful viewers at home. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't a topic that I cared about so much. I love video games. I say this on my Twitch, on my streams, every single time I get an opportunity. I love video games. I love it as a hobby, and I want to be able to share it with each and every one of you. So I would not be here if it wasn't for you. And I'm happy that I'm able to share it with my good friend here, Will. And hopefully we continue to make more great content for all of you. But with that being said, that is going to wrap up our episode 5 of Content Overload. And remember, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to share your opinions below in the description. And again, if you would like to follow me on Twitch or any of my socials, and Will on social media as well, it's all linked in the description below. And we will see you in 2 weeks for episode 6 of Content Overload. Until then, remember to stay safe, be kind to one another, and remember to keep gaming. Until then, we will see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone. Bye.